welcome to another episode of Hallmarked. I'm Kristen.
I'm Aya.
And we are back on the Christmas train.
Yay!
Merry Christmas! In November. Do you know what? I think it's all okay to put up your Christmas tree whenever you want.
You already have.
I already have.
I have not.
But you want to.
Oh, desperately. But
Yeah.
like I'm currently in my family home.
Yeah.
So when I'm in my own, which is happening very soon, but not before this Christmas though.
When will it go up?
When I live in my
Yeah.
place, like 1st of November.
Yeah. See?
100%.
I was having this argument, yes. I'm going to sidetrack us for a slight moment. I'm having this argument with my dad yesterday because he was like, 1st of December is when Christmas trees go up. And I was like, but there's not enough time to enjoy it.
No. And I'm lucky because I have a second Christmas in January.
Yes.
So like technically Christmas ends like almost mid-Jan for me.
Yeah. So that's like 3 full months of Christmas.
Amazing.
That's what you want.
If Westfield Carindale can put their Christmas decorations up in November, so can we.
Yeah, and look, we've been watching Christmas movies all year round, so...
That's true.
Whatever.
And what are we watching today? Or reviewing today?
We reviewed Angel Falls Christmas, which we can find on Netflix here in Australia, but it did appear on the Hallmark channel.
Yeah.
So it is Chad Michael Murray and Jessica Lowndes. They have been partnered on quite a few movies recently, actually.
Yes. She pops up quite a bit.
She does
in
pop
Hallmark.
up quite a bit. You'll know Chad Michael Murray from things like A Cinderella Story,
One Tree Hill.
Jessica Lowndes, I'm pretty sure, was on the remake of 90210.
Yeah, and she's also like a musician.
Yeah.
As well.
So, I mean, we find that out in this film. But
Yes,
what's
we
it
do.
about, Aya?
Well, IMDb says a devoted doctor with little time for the Christmas spirit is in desperate need of an intervention from the unlikeliest of places.
Yes.
So, okay, she's
heavens.
a doctor. Yeah, she's a doctor, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so busy. And her boyfriend's like, no, spend more time with me. And she's like, no, I must help people.
Yes.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
And she's not into Christmas. Anyway, they break up and they make wishes.
Yes, I wrote down the wishes.
They make wishes and there's an angel and it spreads fairy dust. And then... Angel dust. And then next minute, Chad Michael Murray comes into the picture and it's established that he's an angel.
Yes.
Who's a real flesh and blood person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Angels come in many forms.
Many forms.
Attractive men, apparently. Anyway, so they form a friendship and he kind of guides her through this new transition. And he's basically there to, one, give her more Christmas spirit and also get her back together with her boyfriend.
I think to find the life that she is happiest
she truly have, because
you know.
she's a bit stuck. She's like, all she thinks about is work. So they do all sorts of Christmassy activities, and her boyfriend also has an angel because he works in marketing.
As he
does. And I mean, this is not really spoiling it. Chad Michael Murray develops a crush on her, but then eventually realizes, oh no, she needs to be with him. This is the life that she has. And then what's her name in this? Allie,
yeah.
Allie and
Josh
eventually end up together. Chad's like, yay. And Josh's angel's like, yay. And then
a new angel comes into
angel comes in and Chad gets promoted.
Yeah.
Basically.
The end.
The end. That's basically it. Like, it's just an angel trying to give a girl some Christmas spirit.
It definitely has. I don't know if you watched this show in the late 90s, early 2000s. It's called Touched by an Angel.
I've heard of it. I didn't watch
It has very much those vibes.
Right.
And probably the most religious, in a sense, Hallmark movie we've watched so far.
Do you think?
I think so.
Is it because of the angel element?
I think because there's angels, but also there's very much a like, God has a plan for you, and like the looking up to the sky every time they're like, is that you kind of deal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we've had one that's been this heavily like God plan angel related.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. My biggest thing, look, I have notes. You have a lot of notes.
I have so
My biggest
many.
thing was, why is Chad doing this? That's the biggest question. Like, what are you doing? You were like so popular and doing like so many, not so many good things, but like What? What are you doing?
I found, because we watched this last year.
Oh, just for funsies.
For funsies,
Yeah.
not for... We watched it again to review
Yeah.
it. But we watched it last year, and it was like just after he had been on Riverdale as a cult leader.
Oh my God.
So he just like has started doing some very niche...
Yeah, he was in
roles.
what's the show? It was after Captain America, Peggy Carter,
yeah,
Agent Carter. He was in that show.
Yeah, he was.
And he was pretty good in that.
Yeah.
He was good.
Yeah.
And then this was abysmal.
This one, I think I text you being like, when he's not playing himself, he's actually not a great actor.
No, and I don't know what the character choice was in this. Like,
the accent was weird.
but just like the way he held himself.
Yeah.
The
And
way
it was quite condescending.
Yeah.
Maybe because that's how he feels angels are. Now, his name in this is Gabe, which I'm assuming is short for Gabriel.
Oh, that's a very angel.
Which is a very angel name.
Angelic name.
But then the other angel is called Maureen.
I mean, we've got to keep it real.
We gotta keep it real. We've gone back to the trope of like the female character being highly strung,
Yes.
and a workaholic,
Yeah,
and
no
no
time.
time for anything,
No
and hates
time.
Christmas, and like Ellie is everything in one little bundle.
Yeah.
And Josh, who is her boyfriend, is not the douchebag boyfriend. He
No,
is very
he's really
laid
nice.
back. He's
Yeah.
very nice. He's been accommodating.
He just wants to spend time with
He
her.
just wants to spend time with her, and
Mm-hmm.
she wants to do anything but spend time with him. And that, understandably, has become quite frustrating.
For sure.
So that was the thing, is that it's like a 10-year, she's like, it doesn't fall into my 10-year plan, or all this stuff that I'm like, this only came out last year. Are we still doing that?
According to Hallmark, we are.
Are we still doing this thing where the woman is like, "Wah!" and the male is like, yeah, whatever, I'm here, going with the flow. I thought we had balance.
I just, the way that like Hallmark sometimes, I'm gonna rip you to shreds, Hallmark.
Sorry, Hallmark.
Like the way you just simplify women, like just like these basic, just terrible like traits in a woman
Yeah.
that they're not exclusive to women.
No.
Like men can be workaholics, men can be highly strung as well,
Yes.
but why is it consistently the woman?
And it's not even in the profession, because like Allie's best friend in this is also a doctor, and it's like, why are you here? Why are you at work?
Yeah, and she's got, doesn't she have kids as well? Like she
Yeah.
has a life. Why
Yeah.
can't you have a life?
It's very strange.
Mm.
I had to laugh at the Christmas wishes.
Oh, is this when, which part is the Christmas wishes?
It's in the restaurant. So they've
Oh yes, this is the angel
this
dust.
is the angel dust, where Josh wishes that Ellie learned that there was more to life than work.
Yeah.
And Ellie wished that Josh would know that there's more to work than just work.
Yes.
And they do.
In the
Josh
end.
realizes that he hates his job and
Yeah.
like wants to be a teacher and all that kind of stuff. So in a roundabout way, that there is like more to life and more to work than just work. But yes, the angel dust coming out of the Christmas tree and then our angels appearing was a little... I mean, we are watching Angel Falls Christmas. We
Yeah.
should have known.
I don't think the angel dust was necessary.
No, like it
Which is
just,
weird.
that seems a little like we need to do the Christmas magic thing, but like it's not really how religion works. Like,
Yeah.
like pick one or the other, you
Yes,
know? Like
I
pick
see.
this fantasy or pick the something that's like the spiritual.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also like got a little sad of the fact that the reason that Allie wants to jump into Christmas and makes a Christmas list of all the things she needs to do is to prove to Josh that she can change. And that is like a big theme throughout the whole movie, including on Josh's part of like, Allie doesn't want to change. Like, should you want to change someone that you love, blah, blah, blah. And Maureen's like, well, who says that you don't have to change? You know? And then he has this epiphany of like, oh my God, yes, I hate my job and all this kind of stuff. Then I'm like, yeah. I mean, Josh gets it in the end. He's like, we've both grown. We've both realized what we want. That's why we can come back together. But from the very beginning, she's like, I must be a different person in order for my person to love me. And I'm like, no, he already loves you.
Yeah.
He just wants you to prioritize him.
He literally
in some
just wants
way.
you to like not work 50 plus hours a week over Christmas.
And you had Christmas. She had Christmas Eve off.
Yeah.
And then she chose to cover a shift for a doctor that had a family. And Josh is like, but you're coming to see my family. We're spending Christmas Eve together.
That's such a good point, because I think what this emphasizes, that particular point, is that, if you don't have a family, if you don't have your own kids, you actually should work and you should take over someone else's shift because they have a family.
Yeah.
But it's like everyone's got a family. Everyone's got their own priorities. Everyone's got their own life.
Yeah. And whatever that family looks like, maybe you have Christmas with your friends, but it's still a plan that you are celebrating the holidays or whatever you celebrate in a certain way. You don't have to be married with children for that to make your celebrations more important than anybody else's.
Yeah.
And that was like, I think I really empathized with the character of Josh. Mainly because I'm like, yeah, dude, like you seem to... He made sure that he told her that their date started at 6:30 because he knew she was going to be half an hour late.
Oh, yes.
And all of this stuff that he was like, I've brought a picnic. I've already made the reservation to the restaurant. I've already ordered ahead of the entrees that we love because I knew you were going to be late. You know, like... all of these things that he's obviously had to sit through so many times. And then she takes a work call in the middle and he's like, you're on leave.
Yeah.
They can call someone else.
Yeah.
Which is what we deal with on a daily basis in our own lives anyway.
Yes.
That you're like, yeah.
I get it. I don't want to... She's a doctor and she's working in the ER. And she basically leaves ER to take another, like, a desk job.
Yeah, like the hospital administrator.
Yeah, and so
it is a promotion.
Yeah, it is a promotion, but she really likes that kind of hands-on helping people, even though, I mean, whatever, you're helping people regardless. And so I respect her passion for her job and that she really wants to help people. But, like, he has a point. Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
He has a point. Like, there is more... there is more to life than just your job, but she just can't see it because, I don't know, I don't want to... I think, is it like some kind of like superiority complex where she's like, but like my job's super important?
I think what I got from the movie was because her parents had passed away. That's why she hated Christmas.
Of course, she was a Christmaphobe.
She was a Christmaphobe. It's back.
Yeah.
Her parents had passed away. That's why she hated Christmas. And her dad was an ER doctor who became like, I think he was like head of the hospital at some point.
Right.
Like he was in that, like that whatever we call it, industry. And it took like one of the her mentor doctor who had worked with her father to be like, no, your dad always took time off to spend time with you.
Yeah.
And to make sure you had Christmas as a family and to celebrate Christmas. Like, you aren't honouring his memory by doing nothing but work. He would want you to be with Josh and his family on
like,
Christmas.
she didn't remember that?
No. Like, it was just some certain things. Chad's acting. I wrote Chad's acting lol a lot of times in my notes. But he had so many scary eyes. But he says, you got to find the inspiration to improve yourself. And I was like, she doesn't need, like, that. She is a great person. Yeah. I think she is an amazing, like, as a character, she's an amazing doctor. She's very good at her job.
She literally just needs to...
She's very nice.
She just needs to adjust her perspective a little bit and be a bit more accommodating.
Literally it.
That doesn't mean she needs to improve herself. She's a good person. She clearly does care about her boyfriend.
And her patients.
And her patients and her job.
Yeah.
She clearly cares about people and wants to do right. Yeah, it was just like...
Yeah.
Oh.
So, I guess, like, in that sense, the meet cute moment, I guess, is between Gabe and Allie at the ice skating rink.
My favourite scene.
Where she's written this list of Christmas things that she needs to do, and the list blows away.
That was wild to me. So, yeah, she makes a Christmas wish list. The wind blows it away. She runs after it. It's like, what are you, 5? Why are you running after a piece of paper?
Just write the list again.
Just write it on your phone. Or just be like, oh, well, that piece of paper's gone. It doesn't have my name, number, and address on it. Like, I can write another one. But she has to run after this piece of paper in the snow.
And in doing so, runs into Gabe.
Yeah, Chad. Or Gabe.
Chad.
Gabriel.
The Chad.
The Chad. The Chad is great. The Chad is not great.
Yes, and so they get along. Maureen's like, Gabe can help you finish your Christmas list. He's really good at Christmas things.
So Maureen is the other angel who is actually quite scary too and a bit creepy. Like, just weird, like, hello.
That's kind of the whole vibe.
I'm from The Shining and I'm gonna stare at you. Like, it's so, they both do it. It's weird. Get away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she encourages them to go.
To go ice skating.
Ice skating.
And they hit it off, and anyway, Gabe's like, well, yes, go on.
The ice skating.
Yes.
Is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
The fact that he just like, I can't even, we need to do a video of it. Like, I'll overlay it on, like, it's like this weird, like, glide pose. Like, he's clearly not wearing ice skates. He's just obviously got like sneakers on and like making steps to look like he's skating. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. It's the worst acting ever.
Chad's not great at this movie.
Like, even like the action sequences in Sharknado are better than this. Like, something so terrible like Sharknado. I don't know why I thought of that. That's like the worst movie I could think of. But it was terrible.
Yeah, and the meet cute was kind of nothing. So, like, there's a trend.
Yeah.
A big trend.
He wears a lot of turtlenecks.
He wears a lot of turtlenecks. And
turtlenecks are not good on him.
Turtleneck and a beige coat with his, like, very blonde hair and his pet. Like, he just is, like, it's not white. Like, he's not an angel. It's, like, I get what they're going with the vibe, but, like, he just looks washed out through the whole movie.
It's not a good look.
No. And now Gabe's everywhere. She goes to the coffee shop. Gabe's there. He invites her to a party.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to date you. And I was like, Ellie, not everyone wants to date you,
yeah,
mate. Like,
get over yourself.
You can get invited to a party without people wanting to date you. And the coffee shop owner's like, you should go to this party. He invited me. Like, it sounds really fun. And it ends up being cookie decorations at the nursing home.
Yeah.
I wrote it down somewhere. So, yeah. It was just like, he obviously is a very good person, and he's
an angel.
He's an angel. Volunteers a lot of his time because he can't actually work for realsies. But yeah, now he is on the quest to help Ellie finish her whole list, and they get along very well. She's like, yeah, come hang out. But she talks about Josh all the time.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering if she's doing that because she's like being very clear, like, I had a boyfriend and I still care about him, so nothing can happen. But really, he comes across as frigid anyway, because he shows like literally no kind of, I mean, at one point he thinks that he likes her or loves her or whatever, but like there's literally no romantic chemistry between them at all.
And also, she broke up with her boyfriend like 48 hours ago at this point.
Yeah. But if you bring out like why you could have just said, thank you, sir. Yeah. Lovely to see you.
But she needs to finish this list because she needs to improve herself so that Josh will want her back.
What else is on the list? It's literally Christmas things.
It's all Christmas. Everything's Christmas things.
Like,
so
get a tree.
Ice skating. The next thing is get a tree. This is where I start being like, oh, your parents have done this to you. In that she picks the pink tree, and Gabe is like, that of all the trees that you have to choose from, you're picking this one? And she's like, yeah, Mum would pick this kind of tree, Dad would pick this kind of tree, and this is the kind of tree I would pick. And Mum and Dad would be like, is this the tree you want to pick? And then I'd throw a tantrum, and then they'd give in, and they were the best parents ever. And I was like, giving into your tantrum? No. I don't understand how you can hate Christmas when obviously everything about Christmas was great.
Wait, so can we confirm, did her parents die around Christmas time?
Never told.
So then, okay, so we can assume that the parents did not die on like Christmas Day, therefore it's just she only clearly remembers Christmas being the best time ever with her family, and that's why she hates it.
Yeah.
and that's why she associates everything. It would make more sense if something actually happened around Christmas time that she couldn't, not just because it was a good time had by all.
I mean, maybe I missed it. I did black out at some point.
Oh,
because
I
it was
tuned out
so
a lot, so...
boring. Josh sees Ellie with Gabe at the Christmas tree farm.
Yes.
And he's like, she's already moved on. I was like, mate, it's been 3 days.
Yeah.
She can't have moved on.
Yeah.
But she looks happy and she's laughing, and he's like, she wasn't really with me. So that with me. So
I get that.
Been. Yeah. So it must be a thing, but we're not going to ask any questions.
No.
We're not going to go up and say hi. We're not going to be like, hey, who's this? We're not going to call her.
Yeah.
We're just going to assume.
But, like, I can see why he would be upset.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally everything he wanted to do with her.
Yes. She never has bought a Christmas tree. Josh has decorated her house. Josh usually buys a Christmas tree. So she doesn't have a Christmas tree because she broke up with Josh. That is the, premise of why she's at the Christmas tree farm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's Christmas cookie baking time. I'm going to sneeze again. It's going to cut. Nope, it's gone. The apron.
The apron. I wrote that. The apron. I wrote, I want to know how much he asked to get paid. Like, if he said, if you're going to see me in an apron, I expect this salary for this movie.
And he's quite a tall person, and it's obviously an apron for, our size.
Yeah, and he had the turtleneck on. It was the turtleneck with the apron. He looks like he's never baked in his life.
It's one of those,
creepy face.
Frilly.
It was like a frilly, housewife,
but kind of
50s style.
In his crotch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was doing nothing.
She was doing nothing.
He did it all.
Yeah. He did all.
Yeah, the apron killed me.
The apron. If I give you one reason to watch this entire movie, it is for the apron.
If I give you one reason to watch the entire movie, it's the ice skating moment. And they're both really bad moments for Chad. Ice skating, apron. Both terrible, but yet so funny.
We talked about cookies so much that I just wrote down, I just want cookies now. Because it was. That cookie scene went on forever.
Yeah, and then, what's her neighbour? A little sticky beak.
Comes in all the
Jeanette,
time.
whatever her name is.
It's Bernadette.
But that was close.
Yeah.
Good on me.
Yeah.
It wasn't that close.
Jeanette and Bernadette kind of rhyme, so it's close enough. I'm pretty sure it's Bernadette. What was embroidered in her bag? Started with B.
Yeah, well, because he said it,
Yeah.
and she's like, "How do you know my name?" It's funny how it's when people say stuff like that, like, "How did you know my name?" Are they saying that because they're like, "Have we met before?" Or is it?
Are you an angel?
Yes, yes. Because if someone said to me, "Oh, hi, A," I'd be like, "Oh, have we met before?" That would be my reaction, not, "How did you know my name? You must be an angel for knowing my name." But it was on her bag or whatever.
Yeah. Sticky beak. Yeah, she comes
Sticky
in.
beak.
And she's like, you've got a tree, you're decorating, you're baking cookies. This guy's really hot. Good on you.
Yeah.
Cool.
F Josh.
And then they take the cookies to the hospital because there's so many cookies. They take the cookies to the hospital, which I'm also like, oh, kids in hospital have a lot of dietary requirements.
Yeah. Not in this movie.
For the kids too. I'm too literal to keep watching Hallmark movies. This is the problem. For the kids to decorate, and the kids are doing a great job. They're putting icing on, they're sticking things to it, and then they show us her best friend who's a doctor also decorating, and she's just picking up marshmallows and putting them on the cookie, the plain cookie, and I'm like, gal,
Oh, no icing.
there's no icing.
Oh my gosh.
That's not gonna stick. What are you doing?
Okay, here's the thing with Hallmark. There is zero attention to detail in these moments.
Yeah.
They literally would film it and be like, we missed the, people won't notice.
I noticed.
We noticed. Yeah, you noticed.
I'm like, you give me baking scenes and I'm gonna notice.
Yeah, I don't even remember that hospital scene. I think I fast forwarded at that point. I went,
Probably.
I've seen this, but I clearly don't remember it.
And then her friend says, it's so nice to see you smiling again. And I'm like, mate, it's been 3 days.
But also, it's so nice to see you smiling again. She was smiling at the start of the movie.
Yeah.
She's constantly... So she's clearly only talking about those 3 days.
Yeah.
So you've not been smiling for 3 days? Oh, okay, yeah. That's a weird thing to say.
It's been weird. And her friend, who I don't remember the name of, It's like Team Josh. Like, she likes Josh. She
Yeah.
wants them to be together, but, like, she's not gonna push it. Which I kind of like, too. Of, like,
Yeah.
you make your own choices. It's your life.
Yeah.
Josh is cool. But Ellie starts talking about Josh with Gabe being like, do you think he's moved on? I don't know if he's gonna, like, want to get back together. All this kind of stuff. They're just walking down the street. And I'm like, just call each other. Like... You haven't had this conversation with Josh about not wanting to commit because it's scary? Like, she's having a big conversation about not getting married but wanting to be together and all of this kind of stuff. That I'm like, have you said these things out loud to your partner?
And why are you telling a man you literally met like 48 hours ago?
Who you've already been like, I don't want to date you.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, are you guys dating? Like, you obviously have vibes.
Yeah. Everyone loves his smile. Everyone comments on his smile. Oh my gosh, Gabe, you've got such a nice smile. Whatever.
And yet I've got another note that says, I don't know what Chad's going for with these choices.
I mean, he made some choices.
Again, another note about change. They must be talking about change all the time. I was like, do you need her to change, Josh, or can you maybe work together to compromise? Like, yes, I understand that you really like your job, but can we just, like, if we say that you're going to have this day off and we make a plan, can you stick to that plan?
Well, like, even after, sorry to, like, this is backtracking a bit. When she has her week off for holidays, like, she's clearly so bored, she doesn't know what to do with herself in her home. Are you kidding me? There are so many things you could be doing, not even Christmas related.
No.
Like, go see friends,
Yes.
go for a day trip somewhere. Just, like, do
Even
anything.
yesterday I cleaned my linen cupboard.
Yeah.
You can do things.
You can sort through things. You're not just going to be sitting there being like, what could I possibly do on my first day off ever? But then, what I also wanted to get to was, like, she went back to the hospital.
Yeah.
Like, this is the thing that she just can't let it go. Like, she's like, oh, just come to see if I could help. Babes, you're not going to get paid.
No. It's
She
very
can't-
strange. And, like, as a workaholic, I do understand that you can be drawn to work. I am currently on leave and I check my work emails daily. Not to reply to them, just to know what's going on. But, like, I am learning to let go.
Yeah.
So I can kind of empathize with her in that sense. That if you are a workaholic and that is the thing that you know and that you're comfortable in, I can understand. I wouldn't never just turn up to work while I'm on leave.
Yeah.
But I also am not an ER doctor. I'm a clown. So...
But, like, still, regardless of what your job is, you just wouldn't turn up. You just let it go.
Yes.
Are we at the singing part yet?
We are so close. I just, like, Maureen saying, even angels have to protect their hearts. Made me
Oh, is that
laugh.
what he says?
When
Is that what she
she's
says
like-
to Chad?
She's like, I think you've got a crush. And he's like, no, strictly professional. And she's like, okay. And then they go... So one of the things on Ali's list is going caroling. The caroling starts at 9 p.m. If someone turned up to my house after 9 p.m. to carol, I'd be like, no. I love Christmas, but you can kindly leave. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
9 p.m. is too late. And so the caroling has been... there's a lot of snow. So the caroling has been cancelled, but they don't find out until they get there. So Gabe takes Ali to Christmas karaoke or like an open mic night. Like, you can sing whatever you want. There seems to be someone singing an original Christmas song, but then you can also sing carols. One thing is the guy who is singing when they arrive. They're like, thanks, old mate from Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I'm like, Troy Bolton, is that you? He has signed her up to sing.
Yes.
Gabe has signed Ali up to sing. Obviously knowing that there would be weather, but he has the power to be like, weather stop, and he looks to the sky, but it didn't work this time. So he's had a backup plan. Has signed her up to sing, and she's like, if I'm doing this, you're coming up with me. And he's like, the only thing I can play is the harp. And she's like, well, there's a guitar up there, it has strings, same.
Oh, no.
The harp and the guitar are two very
If you can
different-
play the trumpet, you can play the clarinet.
Yeah. it's a strange thing to say.
It is
but
very
apparently
strange.
turns out to be true because Chad picks up a guitar
And he knows how to
and
play it
he
straight
starts
away. But
plucking those strings like he'd pluck the
he's
harp.
an angel, though.
Oh.
He's got the power to just learn an instrument.
Yeah, and he's like, "You'll go." She's like, "What are we singing?" He's like, "You'll know." So he starts.
No, I
playing.
don't know. How about you just tell me beforehand?
He starts playing and she starts singing very well. I wrote, "Of course she can sing."
Well, I wrote... So she is actually... Jessica
Lowndes?
Lowndes is actually, like... She's trying to have a singing career. The auto-tune
It was very auto-tuned.
is very auto-tuned. I don't know. I
But
think...
everything kind of is these days.
Yeah. But it when it goes from, like, rustly vocals to clear, crisp
Yeah.
singing, you go, okay. I don't really like her voice.
It's not bad. Like, she
It's
can't
not
not
bad.
sing. You know?
It's just like, I can see why your singing career is...
Ayer is on fire.
Sorry, that sounds so rude, but whatever.
But also, there are a lot of actors who want to be singers. And I'm like, stay in your lane,
I know.
peeps. Like,
I think that's what I roll my eyes at, is the amount of
Yeah.
actors who want to be singers.
and vice versa, singers who want to be actors. And I understand we're all very
Justin
creative.
Timberlake.
Yeah. We're all very creative people that have a lot of skills, but there are a lot of people who are, there's not one of those push the buttons moment. There are a lot of people who train specifically in an art form who are working so hard to make it in an industry, whether it's the music industry, whether it's dance industry, whether it's acting industry, whether it's art, whatever it is, that when there is crossover, I'm like, if you're an actor who wants to be a singer, go do musical theatre.
Yeah.
You know, like, there are people who are working their butts off trying to get a record deal, who are very talented people.
For sure. And, like, not to kind of sidetrack, but on the same theme, I think this is what people think about
Yes.
TikTokers who end up in movies and
Yeah.
some of them, like, are legitimate singers, but they didn't become famous for those
No.
talents. They didn't become famous for skits or
Yeah.
singing covers, I don't know, or anything like that.
And there are plenty of actors and singers and artists on TikTok making great art.
Yes. I'm not talking about those.
But the viral sensations, maybe not so much.
Yeah,
Whoa, this is where we start sounding old.
Yeah. What, using the words viral sensations?
But yes, that has always, I think that has always been a sticking point for me.
Yeah,
Even
I agree.
when we were first starting out, just being like, if you want to be an actor, be an actor. If you want to be a singer, be a singer. If you want to be both, great. There are avenues to do that. But why does it always need to be in, like, plenty of the, like, you've got your Disney kids, you know, that I'm like, great, make music. If that's what you want to do, go and focus on that.
Yeah. Well, look at, like, Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is a major...
We totally do to it.
It's fine, but, like, I love Harry Styles.
Yes.
As, like, a singer and a performer. When I saw him at the end of Eternals, don't worry, darling, I was just like... It's not for everyone. We don't have to do this.
No, but also Harry Styles in a movie gets people to the movie.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's like putting your YouTube stars or your TikTok stars into a musical sells tickets. You know,
Yes.
there are certain things that are outside of our scope in
Yeah.
terms of producers' choices to also make money because that's their job.
I don't know what the draw card was
For this. Chad, Michael was.
Chad and Jess.
Chad.
Chad.
Then Gabe, we're going back. We're gonna bring it back to the movie, guys. Josh and Gabe, otherwise we're gonna be here for hours.
Yeah.
Josh and Gabe meet.
Yes.
And Gabe gets weirdly competitive. He actually becomes quite selfish. And he's just being mean to Josh for no reason. He's
Not very angelic
not
behaviour.
very angelic behavior at all.
No.
But also, like, Maureen's like, is that what you should be doing right now? And he's like, yes, this is what I need to be doing. I need to be with Ali. And it just gets a bit, I don't know. And I'm already icky about Gabe from the beginning. But
Yeah.
at this turning point here, I'm like, ugh.
It's just a really weird movie. Like, I don't understand the dynamic between Gabe and Ali.
No.
It doesn't feel romantic, but then comes across towards the end as a bit romantic. Like, there's some jealousy. There are feelings on his end, not hers. It's just a really weird vibe.
Yeah.
It makes you feel really uncomfortable.
And because
watching.
because his choices are already kind of creepy.
Yes.
It adds an extra like creepy factor for me.
It does. Yeah.
But she starts telling Gabe about Josh and like how they got together, and it was around the time that her parents passed away, and like Josh helped her heal, like helped her through her grief, and like was patient with her, so understands why she is the way she is. And I think she realizes that she actually needs that, but she doesn't know how to approach Josh about that.
Yeah.
Because in her eyes, she hasn't changed. She still wants to work.
Yeah.
She just doesn't know what work should look like in order to do that.
Yeah.
But they both love Scrooge. Josh and Ellie both make a comment at some point about how Scrooge is misunderstood.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is Ellie meant to be Scrooge in this storyline?
Probably.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that's how it's...
But again, like someone who is like outcast and like has a lot of things happen to them that people don't really understand, who has isolated themselves. Yeah, I can understand why Scrooge is misunderstood.
Yeah.
Josh realizes that they both need to change. So I'm like, great. If one's changing, both changing. And then I wrote Gabe is yuck. So I don't know what happened.
Gabe is yuck.
Yeah.
I mean,
what I wrote.
so many... I honestly... After she helps a man with a candy, with his blood sugar by giving him a bit of candy cane, I went, no, I can't do this. I really tuned out. I only came back in at the end.
Yeah. Which we're pretty close to. Allie and her neighbour have this cute little conversation about how they both have experienced significant loss, which is like a really big conversation for a Hallmark movie. For any movie, but particularly a Hallmark movie. And her neighbour apologizes for being a little bit, off because Allie is around the same age as her daughter was, who is the person that she lost. And Allie's like, and I remind her of you. And she's like, no. I think you remind me of the person that she could have been.
Yeah.
Which is like I really like as something that, because people kind of say that all the time. Oh my goodness, you remind me of this person that I used to know or I connect with. And she's like, well, no, because she didn't get to be the age that she didn't get to have all the things that you have and all that. So you just kind of remind me of the potential of what her life could have been. And I'm like, oh, that is a really heavy conversation.
Yeah.
Like anyway, they become friends, and she sees Gabe for the last time, and Gabe's like pretty certain that he's going to tell Ellie that he has feelings for her and that he's going to stay on Earth.
Is this when they're in her house?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so she starts talking about Josh a lot, and he comes to the realization that she doesn't like him in the way that he likes her.
I mean that's been very clear the entire movie.
And he realizes that she needs to be with Josh, so he needs to say goodbye. And so he's like, by the way, I'm leaving tomorrow. And she's like, well, can I come visit you? And he's like, no.
No.
And how long are you going for?
Forever. Can I call you? Don't have a phone.
If you just look up into the heavens.
Just look up and you'll see me and you'll know.
And as they say goodbye, Gabe is like teary. Like there are tears in his eyes.
You know that there were eye drops. What are you talking about?
And I'm like, and also they don't actually say goodbye to each other. He just kind of like, they hug and then he like lets go and he walks off. And I'm like, lol.
You don't need, goodbye. No one says goodbye in a movie.
No.
Like even on the phone when you think about it.
That's true.
So why do it in real life? Why do it in person?
And then there's a joint apology. And not just like, I'm sorry. At first I was like, oh no, Josh is just going to say I'm sorry and that's it. But like Allie starts off being like, I'm sorry, I didn't prioritize you. I understand now that work isn't everything. And he's like, I'm sorry too. And then she goes on and I'm like, that better not be it, Josh. But then he has his moment of like, I understand now that work isn't just work and I'm also sorry. And like this, very specific joint apology. I was like, oh yeah, we've okay. The beginning of the movie, I was like, what the heck, Hallmark? The end of the movie, I'm like, oh my goodness, this never happens.
Yeah, what? Yeah.
This never happens. It's wild.
I mean,
it didn't up the rating for me in any way, shape, or form.
No.
But I was pretty impressed.
Yeah.
And then we get a lot of generic lines like "love hurts" and "time heals all wounds" from Maureen to Gabe.
Oh, I did not like Maureen
And that
at all.
God has a plan for everyone, even his angels.
And then
He's like, I've got to put aside my pride. She's like, I'm really proud of you for putting aside your pride and giving. No, what did she say? Love is putting aside your pride and giving everything to the other. And I was like, no, it's not love.
putting aside your pride. Okay.
I don't think that's. I disagree.
I would not. If someone asked me what love is, I would not in a million years say anything like that.
No.
But if someone said that to me, I'd be like, sorry, you need to elaborate on that a bit more. Give me a real life example, because what are you talking about?
And I don't necessarily think you have to give everything to somebody else. I think it's a bigger conversation than that.
But this is the thing with they push a certain type of agenda. I didn't want to say agenda, but they push a certain type of agenda in terms of like what a relationship should be. It's not super traditional. I feel like they are traditional. They're not as traditional as like that great American family. The what's her name? Candace Cameron Burr, her new company. That's extremely traditional, very Christian focused. Like if they did a movie like this, the angel looking up to the heavens would have been amped up.
God would have been waiting.
Jeez, God would have been in it, basically. But they do push a certain. Hallmark still does push a certain type of relationship.
Yeah. And I think, yes,
regardless
pride shouldn't come into a relationship, no. But I do think that, yes, it's a bigger... That's, like, it's just such a throwaway line that I think is a big... But it's not like we're going to get that in a Hallmark movie. I'm not being, like, irrational here, being like, you should have not put that in or, like, whatever. But it is just a very strange... I guess if this is what the only content that people are taking in, then I'm like, oh, this is why people are like, I have to date to find the one. And I'm like, oh, you could just date to meet people.
Yeah.
See what happens. You know? Anyway. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No. The ending was expected.
It was expected.
The promotion for the angel, for Chad, Gabe, wasn't expected.
No. And unnecessary.
Yeah, it's like I didn't realize angels had ranks and could be promoted.
You should watch Good Omens. That's a good show.
About angels have ranks.
About angel ranks.
Okay.
But it's got Michael Sheen and David Tennant in it, so it's very good.
Yeah, is this a comedy?
Yeah.
This is not serious.
No.
Right, okay.
John Hamm, you know.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, no, I like the sound of that. I should watch that.
Just to cleanse the palate.
Yeah.
I did like 3 things.
Oh, good.
I liked the cookie baking because
of course,
we all know
that's
that
necessary for you.
Yeah, there's a baking, I'm in. I liked the lessons that Ali and Josh learnt in this. I think that I really liked the joint apology moment. I think that was really lovely to see, and also makes both parties accountable, which we often don't see.
Yeah, accountability is nice, isn't it?
And I really like the decorations in her house.
Yeah.
Josh's decorations in her house.
Yeah.
I really liked them. I was like, this is... And particularly for the style of house that she was living in, which is huge, by the way, for someone who lives alone.
Yeah.
That kind of like holly garland that was everywhere was really pretty.
Yeah.
Mainly because I was like, I need to decorate my house, and I was in that mode.
Yeah.
Did you have 3 things?
I had 2.
Of course.
It's better than none. I agree. I liked the Christmas vibes in the movie. It didn't feel over the top.
No.
It was very classy.
Yeah.
Particularly her house. It was just nice. I didn't... First of all, also, I forgot to count Christmas trees in this. Did you end up...
I didn't count Christmas. I totally forgot. We haven't done Christmas in so long.
I totally forgot to count Christmas trees.
I'll go back and count them.
Yeah. There'll be X amount of trees in this
movie. It'll be silent.
There'll probably be like... I don't know. But what I didn't notice the Christmas trees. No. Besides the Christmas tree farm, like there was one in her house, and I didn't watch this movie going, oh wow, there are a lot of Christmas trees in this.
Which often happen.
Which does often happen. So it didn't feel over the top. And then I did like that she was passionate about her job. Like, she really does care about helping people.
Yeah.
And it was nice. Like, it didn't feel like it felt like she was a workaholic, but not for her own gain.
No. Yeah.
You know, often, like, women are like, I need to do because I need to get the promotion and I need to do this. It's like she literally got a promotion. She was like, no, I want to be in this environment and help people because that's what she really cares about.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm rethinking my rating after seeing...
Oh, mine's pretty
You've
low.
crossed something out. What did you have?
I had a 5.
Yeah, that's what I've got, a 5 at the moment, but I
then I
really
changed
don't
it
want to
to
watch
4.
it ever again.
No, 2 times is more than
Twice,
enough.
and even the second time I fast forwarded through a lot.
Yeah. I gave it a 4 out of 10. When you gave her a 5 out of 10, so we're at a 4.5.
Do a
out of 10,
4.5.
which
I feel like
is on board with Choose Love,
Yeah.
which I think is reasonable.
Yeah.
And the
4.25 convenient groom. Yeah.
Like I honestly, if Chad Michael Murray wasn't so creepy in this film,
Yeah. I think if if the angel character was played in a different... If both
Playful.
angel characters were played in a different way, not like these weird, creepy people, like Maureen in the restaurant at the start was like, do you want to take... Are you gonna... Do you want ice cream? They weren't nice angels. They were creepy. And that ruined the vibe of it.
yeah, I think if there was a little bit more playfulness,
Yep.
it would have been higher.
Yep.
Because I was like, Gabe, you're a weirdo.
Yep.
Stop being a weirdo.
Yep.
But that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe go watch it for yourself if you haven't already.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Easy to watch, which most people should have.
Exactly. And also, like, very rarely do we get a movie that's been on the Hallmark Channel.
On Netflix, yeah.
At least the Christmas ones. There are plenty
Yeah.
of others.
Yeah.
But that is all for us.
Yep.
If you have any thoughts, feelings, emotions about this episode, because we have talked about so many things.
Yes, we have.
You can reach out on our socials at hallmarkedpod on both Instagram and TikTok. You can email us at hallmarkedpod@gmail.com. You can comment on anything. Go for it. Share it with your friends. Be like, team, even if you haven't watched the movie, at least go and watch some of the videos on TikTok. I don't know.
Yeah.
Engage in some way because it's the holiday season and we want to hear
Absolutely.
from you.
Yeah.
And next fortnight we are watching A Christmas Love
Love Story
with Kristen
Chenoweth
Chenoweth and Scott Wolf. I'm very excited.
Yeah,
Two
me too for that
people
one.
I like a lot.
Yeah. After this pile of crap. So much better.
I need you to go and watch that video so that you can see A's, well, should I say this out loud moment.
I know, I was just like,
And on that note, I guess we'll see you later.
yeah, see you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.